Here we are again, running an epic Cragmire Crypts. It's basically the same as the regular Cragmire Crypts. Just the final boss has a few more things that he does that make him a good bit harder. And you'll see there's a new mechanic in the final boss battle. I mean, there's a couple of new mechanics, but they're kind of tied together, so. So, there's not much to explain here. Just some typical bashing of enemies. If for some reason you've never done this dungeon, not even the non-epic version of it, I'll explain the little mechanics right here. So at this point, you have to bring this barrier down. There are 3 braziers that you have to light. This is one of them right here. The third one appears right here after you go do the second one. I guess that was their way of telling you to come back into that room. So traps. Looks like everyone has VIP in here. So traps don't mean anything. There's lots of mobs in this room. They spawn as you walk through it, and more will spawn once you light the brazier back there. Only thing you have to worry about in here is the Hulk exploding, which you just saw. It nearly killed our warlock. And back to the third brazier, which should be there now. If this is the first time you're seeing this dungeon, this is just a more difficult version of the Cragmire Crypts that you get for finishing the Black Dagger Ruins. This is the final dungeon for that area of the regular leveling campaign. It's like you have a couple of people that are intent on trying to race through. It's no surprise that they're from Infernal Paragons and Strawberry Yakuza. Even though it's pure coincidence, the guilds that I've found that have the most players that I would say are detrimental to the game experience have been from both of those guilds, actually. It is by no means a stereotype. I'm sure they have a lot of great people in their guilds. But when you do stuff like that, you know, basically, you're just not caring about anybody else except yourself in the dungeon. And you know, if I did that, if I just ran ahead, everybody would die. So because there wouldn't be anybody to heal anyone. We are approaching the first boss. It should be right over. It's coming up around this corner. But if you're going to be one of those people that wants to run ahead, which I'm sure that there will be some, just make sure you can survive. And don't get mad if you get killed because nobody's healing you because the rest of the group's back there around the corner. It's the first boss. He's got a few things. He will summon undead throughout the entire fight. It's a power. It's not a... So it just has a recharge time. The undead don't go away unless you kill them. He will keep summoning them unless, even if whether you kill them or not. So they'll just keep building up. So his AoE attacks are pretty powerful. The ones that, particularly the ones that start around him, like this one right here. That one does a good bit of damage. That's the one you should concern you, and that one right there. The one that he puts on the ground, that one is one that does a lot of damage. And that's the one you should concern yourself with the most. And as you see, he's dead. This chest is not a mimic, but there's not really anything in chests anymore that are worth picking up. Second boss isn't all that far away from that one. And I guess it's not really a second boss, it's more of a group of bosses. I guess I should run ahead with these people since they're going to run through it. I'm not going to be the guy that stands back there. This is the group of the second bosses, a competing adventuring party. They have all the same powers. Actually, their powers haven't been updated since the new mods. They actually have some powers that aren't in the game anymore. It's not anything. They can basically do anything. They use daily powers and stuff like that, just like you would. They are character classes. There are actually other places in the game you used to be able to run into that adventuring party. And you used to be able to fight them. Once one was in Malabog. You could fight them in Malabog's castle. It has since been removed. You could also fight them in Kessel's Retreat. And that one has also been removed. This is a little weird spot right here. I am still I've always been baffled as to why this exists. So you can't walk past this barrier right now. So you got to do this thing right here and use this little wall teleporter. But the weird thing is it just teleports you back to where you've already been. So I don't really understand, man. Like once we come around this corner, we'll be right back in the other room that we were just in. So it's really just you just go in a circle. And then all of a sudden the barrier is down because you ran in a circle. So this is not a good group. And here it is at the top of the where we already came from. Here's the little portal right here. We went through and we just, for some reason, the barrier went down. And the final boss is right over this little walkway that guy just plummeted down into. Yes, don't run off. There's spikes down there. So if you're not paying attention and you just run straight through, you might run right off if the bridge has not been deployed. So here's the final boss. Same as the final boss in the non-epic version of it. The difference is they moved the campfire down here instead of up there. Of course, it should be up there because when it's down here, you can't stand at the campfire without being inside the circle. But, so what is new about this boss? Right, so, in addition to all of his attacks in the other dungeon, which were very simple, they were just a little, he did a little lunge, he had the orc, like, cleave attacks, and he had a kind of a double swing with each arm. I mean, you'll see him. As you see, there's a barrel in here that is part of the new mechanic, as is this, the fire bombs. So, when he throws the fire bombs, for starters, they will kill DPS almost outright. Here's one of his attacks you just saw. There's the other one. He cleaves outwards with his weapons. One just died because you don't stand in front of the boss. This one's no different than any of the other ones. Now this barrel right here, its purpose is to put the fires out. Because at some point, sometimes the fires will be everywhere. And when they are, you need to hit that barrel and put the fires out. I will hit it real quick because you'll see an attack he does. Boom, it puts the fires out and he does this teleportation thing. He basically does bloodbath if you have a rogue. You know what that is. And now he's dead. You did actually see all of his attacks. We didn't have to hit the barrel. You only want to hit the barrel when the room is full of fire. I hit it because I wanted you to see it. It's also, when you fight this battle, you don't want to fight in this area right here, because if he puts a fire down here, then you're not going to be able to actually get to the barrel and put the fires out. And also, sometimes right when you enter, he will throw a fireball right at the group. So don't stand in the entryway either. So as soon as you come in to fight him, run off to the side. Because you can get killed, like, literally as soon as the fight starts. Oh look, I got the pirate hat. So this used to be one of the most coveted helmet skins in the game. The transmute. I'll show you what it looks like. Everybody likes the pirate hat. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. But there it is, the pirate hat. Now there's a normal pirate hat, but it is not as glorious as this pirate hat. Normal one doesn't have all these little feathery things up at the top of it, and doesn't have this I don't think it has the feather coming off the back. So don't confuse it with the normal pirate hat. It is not the normal pirate hat. So that's it. That is Cragmire Crypts, the epic version.